Straight from New Jersey, it's the SNL Nerds, the show where two comics from New Jersey nerd out about Saturday Night Live. I'm your co-host, Darren Patterson.
And I'm your co-host, John Trumbull.
John Trumbull, how you doing, good sir?
I'm doing all right. I like it when you go Shatnerian with the intro.
I know, I gotta figure out a new way to do it. Like, I don't know, I always try to figure out, like, a new way to spice things up with the intro.
Yeah.
And I just go to Shatner. It's just my go-to...
Sure.
My go-to voice.
Maybe you should inject some other actors in there, like a little Adam West, a little... I don't know. I can't think of any other actors besides William Shatner and Adam West.
So status quo for you, as always.
Yeah. No, that's pretty much it. Those are just the two actors who are on a constant cycle in my brain.
Yeah, William Shatner, Adam West, Charles Nelson Riley.
Sure.
Anybody else that was on? Yes. Ooh, maybe I'll do a Charles Nelson Riley.
Yeah, try that. As long as you're not doing it for like the entire episode or anything, I would support that.
Maybe Alan Sue. Hey, from New Jersey, it's the SNL Nerds.
Wow, I have not heard the name Alan Sue in quite a while.
Well, I'm bringing it back, baby.
My goodness.
Never forgotten. Never forget.
Yeah. And we wonder sometimes why this podcast doesn't have a bigger audience.
Yeah.
It's because we're dishing out the Alan Sue references.
Hey, man, we got to stay true to us. All right?
That's true. I wouldn't have it any other way.
We may not know who the hottest TikTok YouTuber star is out there, but dagnabbit, we know Alan Sue.
Right.
So today's episode,
we're talking about SNL's grand return, season 48, episode 13, Woody Harrelson and Jack White, and it's from February 25th, 2023.
SNL is back, baby. Woody Harrelson joining the Five Timers Club. Jack
back
White
for his fifth time. Yep.
Yeah, Jack White, Five Timers Club. Yeah, I mean, we talked this episode up quite a bit when we knew it was coming up. We were like, oh.
We said we were excited.
We did say that, didn't we?
We did. We have recordings of it. We said, yeah, we think that's going to be a good show. We think we're looking forward to that. Those, Woody Harrelson's pretty strong. Jack White's great. And we were half right.
Yeah, we were. Wow. This episode was... Huh.
Yeah. I mean, Woody did okay. He did well with what was asked of him.
He did. I mean,
I think the fault lies with Woody.
Yeah. I mean, well, we'll talk about that monologue in a minute, but yeah. Because wow. Yeah.
So yeah, this. Let's say it wasn't all that it could have been.
Yeah.
That's fair, right?
Yeah, I would say that. We had high expectations going in. Expectations not quite met.
Not especially met, no.
No. Well, yeah.
So...
But, like, we're putting a horse before the cart here. We should, like, really... Is that how it goes?
That's how it's supposed to go. The phrase is put the cart before the horse, which...
Okay. Well,
then you can't really go anywhere unless you have, like, a cart being pushed by a horse, and that's just madness.
That's just insanity. Can't do that.
Insanity. No, I mean, nobody wants that.
No, my God, dog and cats living together.
Right.
But yeah, so let's break this down and figure out.
Break this down. We're going to analyze this. We're going to figure out where they went right, where they went wrong, where they just went random places that didn't make any particular sense.
Yeah, because this episode was. Who Nelly? We got to figure out what the hell happened here.
We got stuff to say. So let's dive in. First off, we got the Trump train visit cold open.
So this is basically cold open. Got JAJ, cold open kid coming back to his roots.
Yeah.
Doing that amazing Trump impression that he can that only he can do. And so this one basically talks about that that horrific train crash that happened in East Palestine, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they were carrying the train was carrying like some toxic chemicals too. Some like
and also, part of the controversy is that, well, I think they were saying that it didn't necessarily affect this train crash, but like the Trump administration is getting a lot of attention, negative attention, because they rolled back a lot of safety measures and things like that.
Right. The train was carrying vinyl chloride, so now a lot of the land in that part of Ohio is poisoned, and it's I mean it's bad news all over. I'm surprised like the news doesn't seem to be reporting on it that much.
I'm
Like
not hearing a whole lot about it, and in fact, like when this cold open started, the premise was like, "Oh, Trump is there visiting," and I was like, "Is that a thing that happened?"
that is
And
the thing.
I
Yeah,
honestly had no idea until they were reporting on it in Weekend Update. I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess that's a real thing that happened then."
yeah. See,
Okay,
no, that did happen. That's the weird thing about it. It's like
yeah.
this horrific, crash happened in Ohio, and like this whole town is fucked because of it. I don't hear that much about it in
No,
the
no, no, no. I'm not. You're misunderstanding me. I'm not.
what?
I'm not questioning whether the crash happened. That's like
Oh,
conspiracy nonsense. I was questioning whether Trump visited there
oh,
after
okay.
the crash.
But yes, he did. I did see he did visit there. He did give out bottles of Trump water or whatever he's calling it, and
Yeah,
it's basically just like a photo opportunity, just to be like, hey, this is.
yeah,
And of
yeah.
course, he blamed a lot of it on Pete Buttigieg, who's the head of transportation.
Transportation. Yeah.
Uh and it's just a big old mess. So this is a great opportunity for JAJ to pull out his Trump impression, and I think he. There's the thing about JAJ. He has a really good Trump impression, but it's just the way he plays it. It's just so. It's so close to the actual guy.
Yeah.
It's
I
almost
have
hard.
trouble watching him because yes, it kind of triggers me at this point.
Yeah,
And
I know. I mean, James is such a Greek tragedy because he has this amazing impression, and it's just for a guy no one wants to hear from, or no one.
yeah, I mean I'm looking at this and I'm just like, you should have just hired this guy 4 years ago, Lauren.
Yeah,
Um,
go back in time, Lauren. Hire this guy.
because I feel like Baldwin might have stepped aside if you got somebody else who could do a really good Trump, and he does do a really good Trump. But yeah, the tragedy is like he kind of missed his window.
And yeah, his impression is amazing, JAJ. Like he comes up and saying, yeah, he's up there behind the podium giving a speech to the press, saying, yeah, the people here in Ohio, so sad, so sad. They come up to me and they say, oh, we can't eat anything. The dirt is all poison. The dirt's poison. I was like, well, don't eat the dirt. Don't eat the dirt. Eat this
Yeah,
cold McDonald's I brought you. Don't eat the dirt.
I don't. It's just so close to the word salad that Trump actually has. It's tough for me to enjoy it, and that's not really JHJ's fault or JAJ, if I want to get his initials correct. Yeah, so I don't know. It didn't do much for me just because Trump.
Yeah, I mean, I
I'm
did.
so burned out on that dude.
Yeah, it's not his fault, like you said. Like he has like a few good lines calling Pete Buttigieg. He can't even say his last name right. And he called him just Pete Butt. Pete
Right.
Butt.
I mean, I liked it when he said he's too busy being a nerd and being gay. And I believe those are both very time consuming activities. So I get it.
You gotta
I
set
get it.
a lot of time aside in your calendar for both of
Look,
those
I
things.
mean, I'm only a nerd, and that takes up a whole bunch of my day. Um,
Exhausting. Woo.
and, not a gay man, but the gay people I know are all like very productive people. So I imagine that that is also a very time consuming activity.
Absolutely. And then they had Chloe come out as Emily Coors, the foreman of the Georgia grand jury, and like she comes out, nobody applauds. I don't think the audience really knows who this person's supposed to be.
I didn't. I didn't. I'm not familiar with the foreman of the Trump grand jury.
Me neither. Like she said, "Oh, here's
Yeah.
Emily Coors." I'm like, "Who?"
But she very much seemed to be doing an impression of a specific person. I haven't Googled this person since I've watched the show, so I don't know. Maybe it was a good impression. It's Chloe, so I'm assuming it was.
Yeah,
And I'm
like
assuming that the woman's strange in some way, but I don't know. It just went over my head
yeah, just
because of that.
yeah, like I felt like when she came out, I feel like the whole sketch kind of slowed down and grinded to a halt a little bit because like
Yeah.
it seemed like the audience didn't know who she was supposed to be impersonating. I didn't know, and her jokes weren't that great. She seemed to be pumped to see Trump. She's like, "Oh, you first Giuliani, now you. This is great." I was like, oh, is she a Trumper or I don't? Is this?
Yeah, I don't
Uh,
know. I like this cold open made me feel really uninformed because I was like going like, wait, did Trump actually go down there? Wait, who is this lady? I just and I do try to follow the news. I watch the Today Show and stuff, and other news things, but yeah, all this stuff was just not stuff I was familiar with. So
yeah, we watch news things.
I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, I thought this cold open was okay. Like I mean, I thought the best part was JAJ and his Trump impression. I like how he has just that stream of conscience where he's like, oh, I feel like I could Shit Creek this whole thing over here, right? You guys what? And then he looks at the people behind him, like, Shit Creek, you like Shit Creek, right? It's like, no, you don't like that. You like Yellowstone. You like Yellowstone. We love the
Yeah, I mean,
Yellowstone.
look, it's a very good impression. They really get his rhythms and his word salad and how he just meanders from one topic to another and has all sorts of irrelevant things in the discussion. But we've seen that many times before, so it's not really doing anything for me at this point.
Yeah, I hear you.
And Trump's not president anymore, so I really don't want to hear much about him unless it's like he's going to prison for the rest of his life.
Oh, music to my ears, John.
Unless the words firing squad are also in the
Oh my!
sentence.
Oh, you want to bring back the firing squad?
Yeah,
Wow.
sure. I mean, would they let us do drawn and quartering?
Ooh. All right. Yeah. Listeners, tweet at us. Let us know your best form of execution you would like to see.
How barbaric should we get with this guy?
Should we go medieval on his ass?
I think we should. I think he deserves it.
Wow.
So anyway, yeah, the cold open didn't do much for me.
Okay. I'll give J points for his Trump impression because it is a good impression. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's
no,
like
it's
you
always
said.
great. It's always great. It's just, yeah, it's more about Trump than about him.
Right. It's not you. It's him.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, let's go into our monologue.
Monologue.
Wow. Wowzers. Wow.
Woody Harrelson comes out, fifth time hosting, comments on he's not getting a jacket. Said the last time he hosted was 2019, which means that would have been an episode that we covered. I don't think I have any memory of the last time he hosted, honestly.
It was. I remember him. I looked it up, but like I do remember, like he was Joe Biden for a while, like when.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he came in for a little bit, and yeah, okay, I remember that. And they gave him the Biden bright teeth.
Right. Like he had that. He was in one of those presidential 2020 what you call it president offs debates.
Okay.
There you go. That's the word. And yeah, he was Biden for a little bit, and now 3 years later, and he is stoned out of his mind.
Yeah, it's funny. He came out. I remember there was a thing in the news like a few years ago that he'd like given up pot, and so like when he came out, I was honestly had the idle thought. I was like, did he give up pot a few years ago? And then he starts talking about that, so I was like, oh wow, Woody Harrelson is listening to my thoughts. And he says like that he quit smoking pot until after the show, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess that answers my question.
There you go.
And he also talked about how he did last year. He did 7 months with no alcohol, which okay,
Yeah, because he says he's a wee bit of a drinker.
yeah.
He just puts on this Irish accent out of nowhere. It's like, yeah,
He's
I don't know why I did
drinking. He
that.
thinks Irish people, I guess, because he's racist.
Aaron go, brah. Yeah. But then, because like you think at first I thought, all right, so the joke is because at first he says, yeah, it's my fifth time, so 5 time his jacket, right? And no one comes out
Right.
with the jacket. So I thought that would be the through line to this thing, but it's not. He then kind of goes off on this tangent where he tells a story about
Yeah.
reading a script in Central Park, but then he goes off on another tangent about weed and booze and
Yeah.
how
I mean, I liked how he talked about how his manager brought his drugs from LA. So he talked about how his manager muled for him.
yeah, and then they show the manager on camera and he's like, oh
Yeah.
god.
And he apparently did not know that was coming, so he's like kind of cracking up and being embarrassed, and that was cute because that was kind of a human moment.
That was. But it was I,
but it was a weird meandering monologue. It just after that we really just kind of lost the thread of it, and I was like, what the hell is he talking about?
dude, like twice I wrote down, where's this story going and what the fuck is happening here? Because it really does feel like he's just riffing and kind of going through this story, like talking as he's thinking it out. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
you ever been in that moment where you go into a party and you see somebody who's like super high or super drunk, and they just talk to you, but you're like sober and you haven't drunk anything? That's what this felt like. It just felt like stoner ramblings almost. It's just I was just like, what is happening? Where are
honestly,
you going
Darren,
with this?
you kind of lost me when it's me going to a party.
Oh, right.
Um, but no, I've been there. Yeah, it's not fun listening to somebody else's stoned or drunken ramblings when you
Yeah,
are sober.
it just
I mean, it's fun if you're in the same state and you can go down that road with them, but if you're not, there's hardly anything worse.
yeah. Like I think at this point, I felt a little nervous for the rest of the show because I was like,
Hmm.
is he going to be like this for the whole show? Is he all right? Like it's one thing where you like sort of you play up your hey, I'm a stoner, I'm a pothead. Like
Right.
that's one thing, and I could see that. But like this one, he really seemed like he was out of it. Like like it didn't
Yeah.
seem like an act at all.
Yeah.
I
I
was
don't know.
I was like I was concerned. I was like, where is this going? Are you all right?
Should we arrange an intervention for the end of the show?
Do I need to call someone? What the fuck? Are you okay? It
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and like then he picks up the story he told like a minute ago. It's like, oh yeah, the story about the Central Park, and then he kind of like I've seen people online
But
already
is
talk.
him just getting stoned in front of a tree in Central Park and he's reading a script? And yeah, I kind of lost the thread of the story, quite frankly.
Yeah, I think I've seen online people already saying the story was it seemed like kind of anti-vax, where he was like the script was about how the big drug cartels are gathering the drugs together, and then there's this big outbreak, and you have to take they won't let anybody at their house unless you take their drugs. It's like I think people are starting to say, "Oh, that sounds kind of anti-vax." What are you saying? It was very bizarre.
Honestly, I think I'd stop. I'd kind of been was tuning him out at that point.
Yeah, it just
So if it was anti-vax, I didn't really get that because I wasn't or couldn't really listen anymore.
no, I get it. Like he was kind of slurring words and stumbling over words. I was like, "What? This is one of the most bizarre monologues I've seen in a while."
It was weird. It was weird because usually those are scripted much more tightly.
Yeah, and
But
speaking of which, this one was scripted by Steve Higgins, Streeter Seidel, Ben Silva, and Will Steven. And
okay,
it shocked me that four people
it
wrote
took
this.
that many people to write that, huh?
Write this? Really?
Really,
Really?
really,
Huh. And
huh?
also, the cold open was written by Mike DeCenzo, Allison Gates, and Ken Sublette.
Okay,
But yeah, so far with this monologue, I'm nervous. I'm nervous, man. I'm
yeah,
nervous.
yeah. It's All right, still, we're going to try and power through this. First sketch, it's called very creatively Jail Scene, where Woody is a prisoner behind bars. He's talking to his significant other, who was, I
Chloe.
want to say, Chloe?
It was Chloe. Yes.
Okay, all right. I didn't write that down, so I took a shot. Um, and they're talking, and we got Ego being like a sassy black woman in the background. She's playing the guard.
I'm laughing, but it is very true.
I mean, that's basically it, right?
Yeah, I also liked at one point where like as Woody sits down and he in front of Chloe, and they're at those
Yeah,
places where you have to pick up the phone and there's
yeah,
that dividing glass in between you, and Woody and Chloe do that thing where they touch each other's hand through the glass, and
right.
then Woody pushes his hand through the glass to show that there is no glass.
Yes.
And of course
Yeah,
he does.
it's cute.
It's cute, and he does stumble a little bit over his dialogue. So I'm like, oh, is he still stoned out of his gourd?
I guess we should say we don't know if he was actually stoned out of his gourd, or maybe that was just who knows. Whatever.
Allegedly, allegedly,
Yeah,
allegedly,
allegedly, allegedly.
allegedly.
We have no inside information on that.
Right. And but yeah, that's basically the premise of the sketch where he says, "Oh, I know I done wrong with Bayou Baby, but like once we get out of here, I'm gonna buy us a house." And of
Yeah, and
course,
Ego's like, a house. You're gonna buy her a house. I'm a guard. I'm not in prison. I can't buy a house.
yeah,
How are you gonna buy her a house? And it was, yeah, it's kind of funny.
kinda, yeah. And then like then he says things like, "Yeah, don't worry, babe, I'm gonna get out of here soon." And then Eggo's like, "No, he's not."
Yeah.
And then, and
And then we cut to like the other side, Chloe's saying some stuff, and then we've got Keenan as a guard on Chloe's side, and he's being a sassy black man in the background,
mm-hmm.
saying like, she says she's gonna wait for you. Well, she's got a guy waiting in the car outside right now, so I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
And
So then basically it's just basically the two, like Woody and Chloe trying to have this conversation,
right,
and then Keenan and Ego just talking over them, saying,
yeah,
"Oh, he think he gonna do this? He ain't doing that. She's,
right,
and then it's
right.
like them kind of going off on their own little tangents, talking to themselves.
And I mean, not a bad premise. I did kind of like at one point they just sort of displace Woody and Chloe from their chairs, and so Ego and Keenan are just talking to each other through the
Yeah,
phone.
yeah,
I thought that was cute.
that was cute. But then they're like talking over each other at one point,
Yeah,
where they're both talking
yeah.
at the
I mean,
same time.
I couldn't really follow when they were talking over each other.
Yeah, like that was like, all right, wait, what is happening here? So
Mhm.
I couldn't I couldn't make out anything anybody was saying,
Yeah,
and then I don't know, then the sketch kind of ends.
I guess the joke was just they were so carried away in their own conversation that they were talking over each other. Yeah, it ended abruptly. We had a big problem with abrupt endings in this episode, I
Mm,
would say.
yeah, I would say so.
Um,
This one was written by Mike DeCenzo and Jake Nordwind.
yeah. I wouldn't say this one amused me too much. I did like that Ego and Keenan's characters were named Johnson and Jackson.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I read their name tags.
Oh, very good. Aha,
So
aha. But yeah, this one, I was like, oh, this is,
it was
um,
just kind of eh. I didn't really
yeah,
see why we're leading the show off with it, but
yeah, same. It's like we're starting off the show with this, especially after that monologue. Oh boy,
yeah, I don't have a great feeling at this
yeah,
point.
start getting nervous, baby.
Next, though, we have something we haven't had in a little while. We got a Please Don't Destroy sketch. This one's called The Stakeout. This one, Ben is afraid that John and Marshall are hanging out without him. And
Yes,
and so Woody decides to lead Ben on a stakeout, and they follow John and Marshall. They see him in a house together. They're just like watching TV. We find out that they're together as a couple, and they have a secret family.
yes, they have.
Um, I thought that was cool, and I like that they made the joke more than just these two are gay with each other.
Right, exactly. Like, I mean, that I thought that was the joke, and I was like, all right, well, that's kind of lazy. But then they build on
Yeah,
it, saying, oh no, they're not just they're gay, that they're gay and in love, and they have a family. They're
and
committed.
they have several children, including several children who are just like way too old. They're like kids in their late teens.
Yeah, they have a moody teenager who's
Right.
just like with long hair.
Yeah.
And I think at one point, like Ben is like shocked at all this, and then Woody says, "Hey man, it's 2015. It's not insane to be gay."
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I like that. I like that Woody is so out of it he doesn't know what year it is. I thought that was cool.
I
Um,
like the fact that Ben texts Martin and it's like,
mhm.
well, let me text him and see what this is all about. Martin looks at his phone, throws it away.
Yeah, he sees it's Ben. He's just like, ugh, and just chucks it in the trash
He
can.
throws his phone in the garbage.
Yeah, I like that. I thought this escalated well, and then like towards the end, we find out that they're having new Ben auditions,
Yeah,
and Ben storms in to confront them, and then by the end, Ben has been replaced by Woody in a bad redheaded wig. Um, I thought this was cool. I thought it escalated nicely. Probably sketch of the night for me. I
uh,
mean, that's certainly the thing that amused me the most.
yeah, I'll give it that. Like, I thought this was all right, not bad.
Hmm.
It's always good to see the PDD boys
I mean,
do
I'm
their
not
thing.
saying it's the best Please Don't Destroy sketch ever, but it's really nice to see them back. When they're not on the show, I miss them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're working on a movie now, if I'm not mistaken.
Are they?
Yeah, like I think they're. I'll look it up, but like I know I remember reading somewhere that they are like working on a movie with Apatow, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, that guy. That guy. He's whenever there's somebody who's in comedy, he's like, "Hey, I like you. I'm gonna do a movie with you."
I like the cut of your jib there, Sonny.
Yeah,
When
and that's the only time you ever heard the word "cut" from me,
that's right.
because I'm Judd Apatow.
I leave it all in.
I put it all on the field, and I leave it all in my movie.
That's right.
That's why they're all 20 to 40 minutes too long.
Editor schmeditor. uh,
I never met a movie under 2 hours that I liked at all.
Absolutely. Yeah, so they are working on a movie produced by Judd Apatow.
Do we know the premise or anything like that?
Yes, we do.
Ooh, lay it on me.
The film portrays three childhood friends who live and work together.
I wonder who's going to play them.
Ben auditions are being held.
All right.
They don't like where their lives are headed and set off to find gold.
Does?
Yeah, join the club. And set off to find gold treasure rumored to be buried on a nearby mountain.
Huh. Okay.
Sounds like the Goonies with grown-ups.
Or, yeah, Treasure of the Sierra Madre or something. It'll be interesting to see how their humor translates to a longer form. Because, I mean, they're great in the short things they do. And I think, like, their shorts usually average, about, like, 3 minutes, something like that. They're very rapid fire.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is just over 4 minutes. So it'll be really interesting to see how their style of humor translates to an hour and a half, 2 hour movie.
Yeah, this will be pretty interesting. Let's see if they got what it takes to go long.
Yeah, and it's also very fast paced humor. So that could be great. I mean, that could be like Anchorman level genius, or it could just not work, and it'd be like, oh well, they should stick to the short stuff.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see where it goes. Does it have a release date or anything?
No, I think they're still shooting. I don't believe there's a.
Okay, well, maybe that's why it seems like we haven't seen them quite as much this season.
Maybe.
If it's shooting now.
Maybe. Well, wait, they do. Wait, plans August 18th, 2023 release. Ooh.
Oh, damn, I've got a thing.
I can't do it. I can't cancel now.
Shit.
Oh, well.
Well, I've moved it twice already, so.
Of course. I hear you. Yeah, so next up, Slingshot.
Hey, folks, do you like seeing SNL cast members in front of green screen? Well, this is the sketch for you. Or maybe it isn't, because it wasn't all that funny, I thought.
Yeah, this one was... What the... Oh. All right, so, like, basically, I remember... This was actually kind of based on a video that went viral. I remember seeing it.
Oh, okay.
Where, like, so for those that don't know, like, if you've ever been to, like, a amusement park recently, they had that slingshot ride where it's basically two people, they strap them into these seats, and they literally, like, slingshot them up into the air, and
right.
they go back and forth, and it's like, I've seen it in a couple, amusement parks, and then there's this viral video out where, like, somebody taped themselves on a GoPro or something, jumping up in the air, and yeah, it's like they get slingshot into the air. The guy next to him passes out. Then he wakes up, realizes, oh my God, I'm still on this ride, passes out again. And it's kind of went viral.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I didn't know about this. I mean, it seems like SNL is basing a lot of sketches on viral videos these days.
Very much so, yeah. It just seems like they see what's trending on TikTok and be like, that's our sketch.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they're going to that well a little too much. A lot too much.
No, yeah, they are. They definitely are. So in this sketch, it's Heidi, Ego, Woody, and Keenan. They want to go on this ride, the slingshot ride. Keenan seems psyched to go on it. He's super pumped. He takes Woody with him, who's like very nervous. We see Molly and Longfellow strap them in. Their attendants at work at the amusement park. They get shot up in the air in the slingshot.
Yeah.
Keenan passes out. Wakes up, passes out.
And just like you said, and then he wakes up and then sees where he is, and then he passes out again. And I might have gotten it more if I was at all familiar with the viral video, but I wasn't. So to me, this was just not especially funny comedy sketch.
Yeah, no, it's not, because like they don't really. There's no real jokes in this thing. It's
It
pretty.
didn't. Yeah, it's we're just supposed to be amused by the green screen thing going on behind him and the fact that he's passing out. And I mean, it didn't. It didn't escalate at all. It didn't.
Yeah, because like then after that, like Ego wants to do it, and that but then Keenan
Yeah,
she gets dragged in. She drags Keenan to doing it again, even though he's
yeah,
scared and doesn't want to go. And
yeah.
the same thing happens. He gets shot up in the air. He passes out, and I think at this point, like,
And then at the very end, it's like Heidi gets on, and then the sketch just kind of ends. They just cut to a photo of the two of them on a ride.
yeah, I
And I'm
mean,
just like, wow, that ended abruptly. They really didn't know how to end the sketch.
yeah, like I mean, this sketch really hinges on Keenan selling the physical comedy stuff he was doing because there wasn't any
Yeah. And
jokes
I don't
really.
feel like he really got to where he needed to be. I don't know what else it needed physical comedy. I mean, well, I feel like what it really needed was a rewrite, but
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe like a bird could have flown into him, or I don't know. Just
I don't know. Yeah, we could have done the Fabio thing where the bird flies into him,
yeah, like
or throwing up or something. I don't know.
I mean, they kind of had a joke in there because Keenan mentioned that his character was, a vet. He was, he was in the Air Force, but when he got up there, he was freaking out, and
I totally missed that.
yeah, like Ego said, "Oh, I thought
I
you were."
don't remember that at all.
Yeah, exactly. Like Ego said, "Oh, I thought you were in the Air Force," and then he was like, "Oh no, I only painted the planes. I don't."
You know what caught my attention the most in this sketch was I noticed in this sketch I noticed for the first time Keenan has tattoos.
Oh yeah, he's had those for a while.
I don't think I've ever noticed his tattoos before. And I was like, have I not been paying attention, or have we just never seen him in short sleeves before this?
Yeah, my man is inked up, son.
I didn't know that. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Keenan has tattoos. I had no idea that he had tattoos.
Yeah.
I didn't think he would be a tattoo guy.
I don't know. He's from Atlanta, so maybe that's. I don't know. I don't know what that meant, but
Neither do I, but it's funny.
yeah, but yeah, it is always weird when you see tattoos on cast members. Like when I saw when you see like Heidi's tattoos or Sarah Sherman's tattoos. Like, oh,
Right.
oh,
I think I've noticed their tattoos before, and I'm sure, especially in the live show, yeah, it's a lot of hassle to cover them up. But
yeah, exactly. I think Chloe has like a small one. I think I've seen it a few times where it's like, oh wow, look at that, huh? It's
yeah,
but still,
she seems like somebody who had just like a little dainty tattoo.
yeah,
That seems like the right type for her,
yeah, like a small little like pixie wand or something.
or like a butterfly or something. Yeah, something girly.
Yeah, something in cursive.
Yeah, yeah. That's. I mean, if I was in charge of picking out tattoos for Chloe Fineman, which I want to clarify, I am not. She has rejected all my applications.
Okay.
Um,
Cease and desist.
that is the type of tattoo I think would be appropriate for her.
Yeah, like something in cursive that says journey or something, something like that.
But she's not like one of those dumb girls who gets like a word in a foreign language that she doesn't speak.
Yeah.
That would not be right for her. She's too smart for that.
God, remember when that was the thing when everybody would get like, Chinese lettering tattoos? It's like, oh, it
Yeah.
means endurance, bro. Or
Yeah, this
something.
means strength, and no, it means deli order. Uh,
Oh, yeah, that was a weird time.
it was. I'm sure there are people who still do that.
Yes, absolutely.
But yeah, the abrupt ending of this one I was like, whoa, it really didn't have an ending. It just cut to them in a photograph,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, this is just how we're ending this. Okay, all right.
Okay.
Are we just short of time? What's going on here, guys?
Like, all right. Moving right along, I guess.
Yeah. Um.
Yeah. Oof. Next.
So moving right along, next thing, submarine launch.
Submarine Launch, written by Dan Beulah, Martin Herlihy, John Higgins, Ben Marshall. The PDD boys did this?
So yeah, I mean the joke here, they're dedicating a new submarine, and it's got an absurd name because the internet voted on the name. I did not write down the name in my notes because I didn't feel like that was a good use of my time. Did you write down the name?
I did because
I figured you would. That was the other reason I didn't do it.
I did because I have no good use of my time.
Yeah, there
It's
you go.
Mr. Dingleberry's Gooch Balloon ASDFJKL semicolon 6969.
Yeah. See, I looked at the sheer length of that and I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'd have to pause the video. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just not going there.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess that they got this from the whole Bodie McBoatface thing, that happened a few years ago?
More than a few, Darren. I looked it up. The Bodie Big Boatface story was 2016, 7 years ago.
It was, yeah. It's
7 years.
it
We're doing a sketch based on the Bodie McBoatface thing.
yeah. It's a bit of a throwback. I was trying to
Yeah,
be polite, but yeah, this sketch is
awful.
yeah. Just because there are no jokes in it. Again, like it's just
Hmm.
basically. I mean, you have like Woody as the the general, the captain, speaking
Yeah,
over speaking to the soldiers about their inaugural new sub called Mr. Dingleberry's Gooch Balloon AFDFJKL semicolon 6969. But and he's screaming it, like everybody's screaming it, like what
yeah.
we're doing it for America, yes sir.
And they talk about how they had debates about how they should pronounce the various things, and I don't know. It just wasn't funny. It
Yeah,
just didn't go anywhere. It wasn't funny. It was just
yeah, like there's no joke. They're just kind of stating facts. It's like, and how
yeah.
did we get this name? Through an online poll, sir. And why did we choose this name? Because we didn't take the poll seriously, sir. And
Yeah,
they're just
and
like,
why do we have this poll to try and get more engagement on our social media, sir? Yeah, I mean, yeah, and it's just,
and it's
yeah, just I don't have much else to say. I thought it was pretty bad.
yeah, like they talk about the runner-up, which was Dookie Cruiser, and then uh, Woody Harrelson's wife calls him saying she's leaving him out of
I thought
nowhere.
that was kind of cute.
That was
Um,
interesting. That was a
they didn't do much else with that, but yeah, I thought that was a cute thing to put in there. But
yeah, but this
again, 7 years ago, the Bodie McBoatface thing.
yeah, this isn't current at all. So I don't know
Yeah.
why, unless somebody pitched it 7 years ago, and then they were like, "All right, we'll let you do that."
Wouldn't that be hilarious if this was something that somebody wrote 7 years ago? It was like the diner lobster,
Mister,
like Woody hosted 7 years ago, and he's like, "Hey, what happened to that submarine launch sketch? That was some gold right there."
there's something there, right? Am I right?
Right, right. I mean, come on. I've had this thing in my head for 7 years. Let's pull the trigger on this, guys.
Yeah. But yeah, that sketch was boof.
Not good. Not good.
Big.
So those of you playing along at home, that's like 3 out of the last 4 sketches have been disappointing to one degree or another.
Yeah. This. At this point, I was like, "Oh no, oh dear."
Darren, I hate to say it, I think we might be in a bad show here.
I think you're right, my friend. I
Yeah.
think you're right.
I mean, it might be a little early to call it. We haven't even gotten to the musical guest yet, but it's not looking good, my friend.
It's no good. It's not good, my friend.
It's not looking good.
No, I bueno.
Um, all right, I do feel like we had a bit of an uptick on the next one, though. The next thing was a pre-tape segment called Color Guard. That's how you
Yes,
say it, right? Color Guard?
color guard. Yes,
Color Guard, because it's like colon.
right.
That thing you do to check for colon cancer. And I mean, I've seen these ads, and apparently I didn't realize that, how it's done, because I've never had to do the Color Guard thing.
Well, I'm gonna surprise you right here because not only have I seen these ads, I've actually done this. I've actually did the Cologuard thing.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, and how was that experience for you, if that's not too personal a question?
Oh, exciting. Yeah, the no, like it's like one of those things where like I'm getting older. I'm a man of a certain age. Maybe I
Right.
should do this. So yeah, you just order it. I think I was able to pay for it through my insurance, or my insurance took care of
Okay.
it. Then
So it was your choice. It wasn't something your doctor said you
right,
should
yeah,
do this.
yeah. No, I was just like, hey, let me poop in this box. And
Hmm.
yeah, so basically, like they send you a whole little kit. They send you like a little
Look, it's got to be like a bag in the box or something, right?
yes, there. It's not you
You're
don't
not just pooping in a box,
no,
right?
you're not shitting in a bear box. We're not
Okay.
we're not animals, people.
Because that doesn't seem very secure.
No. You're not giving your UPS man a box with a leaky waste
Right. Okay.
to
Well,
mail
that's
out.
good. That's good. That's something.
Yeah, like so like it has like this little plastic container in it that's like kind of heavy duty. You poop in that. You pour in
Okay.
like this liquid that sort of not solidifies, but like protects the poop and or it,
So you're doing like a little science experiment.
yes, it's Mr. Wizard. And
Oh, I wish we could do a science room sketch on that. Let's get Cecily back. Do that.
Cecily, Mikey, get into wardrobe. We need you for this poop sketch.
Okay. So I mean, and in this thing, and in the commercials, because it's a tough thing to advertise.
Yeah,
You want to make it tasteful and I guess appealing. So like the color guard people, they have like a little animated character on their box.
yeah. It's like a little talking box with legs and eyes, and
Right.
the mascot. So
Right.
in
Right.
in this sketch, they have the little mascot talking to Woody, who ordered
Hmm.
the kid. It's like, hey, I'm here. I'm your color guard. I'm here to check for colon cancer. So why don't you just
Right.
go ahead and unload in me?
Unleash.
Oh, unleash in me. Like,
Unleash is what they said. I wrote that down. So like, go ahead and unleash. And
yeah,
and as Woody's talking to this thing, we find out that the box is into it.
yeah. It's okay. I like it.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, I'm not really comfortable with this. And he's like, would it help if you knew my name? And he's like, no, I don't think it would. Well, my name's such a, yeah. I thought this was pretty funny. I like this sketch.
Yeah, I think this sketch was had some stuff going for it. Like we have
Yeah.
Keenan as the UPS guy saying, creepily looking, saying, "Yeah, go ahead." And also, is at this point I realized that Keenan has been in the first three sketches and both pre-tapes at this point in the show.
I mean, the SNL writers, they love them some Keenan Thompson.
Yeah, because he's
I mean, probably to excess.
exactly like he's the glue. He's the one that can make sketches better. So they use
Is
him
he
to the.
though?
That's what they say.
I feel like he's the glue that works every once in a while.
Okay. Okay. He's all right. So he's not Elmer's glue. He's more like the cheap school glue you
Yeah.
had in grade school.
Yeah.
Okay.
What, you didn't write Elmer's in grade school?
Yeah, I did. Did I? I don't remember.
What the hell, man?
I don't know. I went to a poor school. All right. I'm from the
Okay.
streets, John. I told you we can't
All right.
afford Elmer's. Yeah.
Um, but I liked how bizarre this was, and I liked how it built. I liked how he has like a legion of the color guard boxes.
Right. Like he had the female color guard box, like
Hmm.
making it really sexual and saying,
Yeah,
"Destroy me, daddy. Blow my box
yeah.
open."
I mean, she's calling him daddy, and yeah, that's that immediately takes it to a weird place.
Yeah, and like I also like at one point we see the box kind of reach up for Woody's belt, trying to take it off. He's like, "Hey, whoa, get off me!"
Yeah. I mean, it was very well done. It was well done technically. Actually, like when I was watching this episode on Peacock, and when it first started, I thought it was just a legit commercial, so I wasn't really paying attention to it. And it wasn't until Woody popped up in the sketch I was like, "Oh shit, this is a sketch!
Yeah, no,
I need to rewind this now and pay closer attention."
yeah, no, same thing. They're doing such a good job of making their commercials look like the real commercials that it's really hard to tell sometimes.
Yeah. This was one that actually fooled me because it wasn't absurd to start. It just seemed like a color card commercial, and I've half paid attention to a million of those things.
Yeah. So at this point we see like a whole legion, like you said, of boxes coming out like minions at
Yeah,
one point. Woody gets more and more uncomfortable, saying, "Oh no, actually, I remembered. I already did this. I already did the color guard thing." And then that's
yeah,
when the tone gets ominous, saying, "Well, you wouldn't be lying to us, would you? Because we could tell that too." And then at
yeah.
one point, one of the boxes pulls out a switchblade and
Hmm.
says, "Like, take your pants off and unload in us right now."
Yeah. And then we kind of cut away to the neighbors, and it's Heidi and Andrew Dismukes uh, playing the neighbors, and apparently Woody Harrelson is just playing himself in the sketch, and Dismukes is like, "Hey, I know Woody uh, smokes a lot of pot, but I'm a little worried about him." And then we do a cutaway, and it's just Woody talking to inanimate boxes that are on his porch.
Right, and so he's just stoned out of his mind, and he
Right,
starts to slowly pull down his pants in fear of
right.
getting stabbed by one of the boxes.
Right, and Heidi's like, oh, okay, I don't think we need to see this, and then Dismukes is like, no, I think I'm going to stay and watch. Dismukes is a little into it,
Yeah,
so
yeah, man, you like what you like.
weird way to end it. I feel like the ending could have been a little better. I thought the ending was maybe a little too random for me, but
Yeah,
overall, I liked it.
yeah. Overall, I like this one too. I thought it was I mean, all the sketches, this seemed to have the most going for it, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Do we have writer credits for this one?
I've been looking for it for the. I can't see him anywhere. I haven't been able to find the credits yet.
This sketch spontaneously generated, everyone.
That's right. It came to us from the heavens above, from up high.
Yep, yep.
Hmm. Okay.
So
Uh,
I don't know, but you like this one too, right?
I did. This sketch I like. This is one of the bright spots of the evening.
Do you feel it was enhanced because you've gone through the color guard experience yourself?
Yes, yes. I feel like I feel like I was seen as
Hmm.
someone who has also pooped in a box and sent it off. Like I feel
Right.
like my voice has been seen, and I feel at one with this sketch. It touched my heart and my soul, and my poop.
Good to know.
Hmm.
All right.
Uh,
And hey, we're already at the musical guest. Look at that.
yeah, Jack White doing a little rockin' and rollin'.
Jack White. First number was "Taking Me Back" and "Fear of the Dawn." That's right, two songs for the price of one.
Medley.
Mm-hmm. Medley. I mean, Jack White. He's just rocking, man.
Yeah, no, he always come through with the goods. Like the man's a beast. He
He's
just
yeah. He's just blowing the roof off the joint. It was a real rocker. I was really impressed with the song. It was just real, kind of like raw, nasty rock and roll, like sort of like a helter skelter type of rocker.
yeah. It's like the kind of rock you really I don't know you really don't see that much anymore
No,
these days.
no, he's like the guy keeping that alive.
Yeah, yeah, I would say so. And the second performance was a tip from you to me.
Hmm.
Like, cause I mean, which was like a little bit more slower, but still pretty great.
Yeah,
So
not quite ballady, but yeah, more of a low key sort of thing.
yeah, like apparently last year he released two albums, and both of those songs were off of those albums. Like one was from one album, and the other song was from another.
Okay, yeah, your story checks out.
Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, I mean Jack White. Like I said before, I was a huge White Stripes fan back in the day, and
mhm.
I don't know. In my eyes, he can do no wrong. He's like one of
I
those.
mean, it's great stuff. I really dug it. I mean, I was looking forward to Jack White. He did not disappoint.
Right. He's one of those pure artists, just all about the art, all about the music,
Yeah,
and I
I mean,
respect
just
that. Yeah.
just like anything he does, I'm a fan of. Just great stuff. It threw me a little. I'm not used to seeing him with such short hair. He looked so clean cut. It was
Yeah,
like
yeah, that's true.
I don't think I've seen him with that short of a hair since he played Elvis in Walk Hard.
Yeah, exact. And again, it's like part of me respects him for being so dedicated to his music, but then another part of me is like, he was so damn funny in Walk Hard. Why didn't he do more comedy? He's genuinely like a funny dude.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah,
I kind of wish he did more. I wish he maybe had a sketch to do tonight. Like
it would have been fun to see him pop up in a sketch. I agree.
yeah,
Yeah,
he has comedic chops. He can be funny, but like
he does.
I don't know if just people don't think of him as that, or he just doesn't want to do that because he's
I
all
mean,
about
I
the
think
music.
the essential problem is that not enough people have seen Walk Hard.
Folks, if you learn anything from this podcast, you need to go watch Walk Hard.
Yes.
All
You
right.
need to watch Walk Hard, then you need to listen to our episode about Walk Hard.
Yes, in that
So,
order.
in that order.
Yeah.
Or, if you've seen Walk Hard a bunch, just turn on Walk Hard, mute it, and then listen to our podcast about it.
Yeah.
That might be a way to go. And it's like, hey, instant comedy, a commentary track.
Yeah. You got all these choices, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, Walk Hard. It's just a underrated film.
The wrong movie, Dad.
Ain't nothing bad's gonna happen today.
I got cut in half pretty bad, dude.
God. Oh, that movie's fantastic.
Oh, this is a dark period. Oh, God damn it. I want to just watch Walk Hard now.
All right, let's get through this. Let's just get through this.
Let's get through this. We can watch Walk Hard.
Watch all the Walk Hard you want.
But yeah, Jack White, great, wonderful, one of the best musical guests we're going to have this season.
Here, here.
Yeah.
Weekend update. Next up.
Weekend update with Colin Jost and Michael Che.
Colin Joseph Michael Che.
Colin Jost, Michael Che.
Michael Che.
Uh,
Jokes. Biden going to the Ukraine instead of the train crash in East Palestine, Ohio.
yeah.
Trump going next to Ohio because he looks better when standing next to a train wreck. Shot of Giuliani.
Yeah. I appreciate that because again, it just told me that the cold open was based on a real thing.
Yes.
Because I was literally wondering. I was like, did Trump actually visit out there? I didn't see any report on that, but okay.
I saw a few things, but yeah, not a lot.
All right.
New Jersey got rated for the second worst roads in America. First worst roads going into New Jersey.
Yeah, I was like, okay, well, I got to write that one down because we got to talk about that. I mean, very easy joke.
Very easy joke.
Funny joke.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
Not bad. But
it's low hanging fruit.
Low hanging fruit. Che had some good zingers here and there about how
he did. That man does have some good zingers.
Yeah, vitamin C can't end pregnancy, and then him telling Colin, "Well, that's the last time I asked a woman to stay over for breakfast." Picture of Colin, picture of Che with orange juice.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. I liked it when I liked Colin's report on the story about the woman smashing the Jeff Koons piece of art.
Yeah,
very valuable piece of art that looked like a balloon animal, and just goes to show, like I've always said, Koons ain't safe in Florida.
Jesus.
And you just know Che wrote that for him.
Yeah.
I love it when they trick each other into saying things that are inadvertently racist or
yeah, holy Toledo.
Oh, that's fun.
Mamma mia.
That's fun.
Yeah. Okay, and we got some death segments. We got JAJ as Bill Walton, NBA analyst.
Who I had to Google to see if it was a real person or not. And yes, he is.
Yeah, this is...
Google says he is.
Yeah.
So...
yeah, this one, I had a feeling he was doing an impression of a very specific person that he probably knew not everybody knows. Unless you
Well, I mean... I guess if you're a sports fan, you probably know who this person is, or if you follow the NBA, you know who this person is. Neither Darren nor I are sports fans, so no idea.
Nope.
And my big discovery was like, wow, SNL impressions are really unfunny when you have no idea who they're doing an impression of.
It's weird. Yeah, this one... Because, I was trying to compare it to... The only other thing I can think of comparing it to is, when Will Ferrell did his Harry Carey impression.
Right.
And not everybody knows who Harry Carey is, but Will found a way to make it work, even if you didn't know who Harry Carey was. And I don't think JAJ quite did that here.
No, yeah, he didn't get there. He didn't get to that same place.
From what I'm seeing online, people are saying, oh, that's a spot-on Bill Walton impression, like the things he says. And he's just kind of like this old man. He comes out in a tie-dyed shirt, and he's just kind of out of it and talks about how he's able to see things that were and that was and what will be. And he's kind of giving us sports commentary on a basketball game that's going to happen in the future.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. I get I mean, it did nothing for me because I had no point of reference for it.
Yeah, I think it's a good impression, but I think they need to find a way to make it palatable, not palatable, but find a way to make it so that people who don't follow sports can find it this funny. Maybe step up the wordplay, or I don't know. They need to find some in for people who don't follow NBA to really make this.
Yeah, maybe it's just enough to do an impression of the sports commentator, and if you don't watch sports, it's okay if you don't get it. That's fine. I don't know.
Yeah, but this one I was like, even I could tell the audience wasn't quite feeling it. They were like, I don't.
Yeah.
Who is this? It's like when the
Yeah, I have no sense of how famous or not famous Bill Walton is, so I can't really speak to that.
yeah.
All I know is I haven't heard of him. So
Yeah, I mean I like that's tricky. Like it's one thing like when you do a character of somebody is very niche, but
yeah,
and that's fine if you want to do that. But you
right. Like I mean, I think I remember when Fred Armisen was on the show, he wanted to do Ira Glass from All Things Considered,
right,
and he was told that was like too obscure to put on the show.
yeah. I mean like
Um,
I'm a East Coast elite, so I know who Ira Glass is. But like
mhm.
I imagine Joe America has no idea who that is.
Right, right. Yeah, if you've never listened to Ira Glass, that would mean nothing to you. So I don't know. My main thought was I was like, because we know, one of our listeners watches the show in England.
Ooh,
It's Boardman Gets Paid, right?
hello, Boardman. How are you? Yeah,
Yeah, Darren's flawless British accent. You're
flawless.
welcome, England.
Oh my
Uh,
god, it's like Jason Statham's in here.
I was feeling like because I think I asked him once. I was like, well, do a lot of the American references like go over your head? Is the show just talking about people and things you don't know about a whole lot? He's like, yeah, sometimes, but I usually find something funny in it anyway. And I was feeling like it was kind of like that. I was like, oh, this must be what the show's like for Boardman.
That's a good point. That's really yeah. This is like yeah.
Yeah.
This must be it. This is how the British watch our show.
Or like when I was seeing the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, and I wasn't too familiar with that set of characters,
Hmm.
unlike most of the other Marvel movies, because I didn't grow up reading the Guardians of the Galaxy. And I was like, oh, is this what it's like watching these movies when you're not a comic fan? You're kind of like catching up on the mythology as you go. That's
Yeah,
so. I mean, it was kind of interesting, but yeah, it didn't. The Bill Walton thing didn't really do anything for me.
yeah. They got to find a way to make it to connect to the common man for
I don't know if they do. I
you
mean,
know.
I'm not feeling like a burning desire for them to bring this character back.
Yeah, maybe it's just like a one and done. It's like all right, I did it. And
Yeah, I'm fine with it being just a one and done.
okay,
I mean, that's all we need. But hey, if you figure out a way to make it work better, sure, why not?
absolutely. And next death segment, Gina Bianchi, played by Heidi Gardner, is a woman with four daughters and one son, talking about motherhood. Heidi
Yeah,
comes out, very Italian American, Long Island, New Jersey
I
mom.
mean, nice wig on her.
Nice, nice wig.
Nice wig. I mean, the hair was on point.
Hmm. And yeah,
Yeah, the big joke is she really loves her son. She keeps talking about her son. She's like, hey, if I could, I would.
oh, the audience,
That's how much she loves her son.
big groans from the audience on that one.
I mean, but well, hey, and we find out over the course of her thing that her daughters are all like really accomplished people, and they're all doctors, but her son is like a 38-year-old. I don't think he was employed or, I mean, he's like mooching food off her. He doesn't sound like much of a prize, but she just the sun rises and sets.
Yeah, like he steals money from her and
Right.
you know sticks her up at gunpoint as a joke, and it's like, oh, my son, I
Yeah.
love my son. My daughters,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
my daughters are fine. They bought me a house, whatever. But my son,
Yeah.
I love my son. I
He
love
can
my
do no
son.
wrong. I mean, pretty good character, well observed.
Yeah, like with Heidi with her character work, I'm always a sucker for it. I love it.
Hmm.
This is a character like I have heard the stereotype about certain type of mothers who dote over their sons
Right.
no matter what, and their daughters can just kick rocks.
Yeah.
Um,
I love that phrase.
kick,
They can go kick
kick rocks.
rocks.
So like I love that she's kind of bringing this character in, and
Hmm.
Heidi commits to these characters 100%. So like I always get a kick out
Yeah.
of that. It does get a little cringy at some points where she talks about how her son is married and how she's concerned that his wife isn't, satisfying him sexually, and how she doesn't do anything to his balls.
Yeah. She has some very specific concerns.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, she's concerned about having an orgasm. It's like that's not how it works. When he's done, you're done.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was like, that might
I
be a
mean,
little too
this was
far.
funny. I wouldn't mind seeing this character make a return visit.
Yeah, this one's good. I always like Heidi's character work, so I would
Hmm.
say this one worked for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was good. So I feel like a decent update. Not the best, but it was pretty good.
Yeah, decent update. And we also got a title card for Eugene Lee, who
Mm-hmm.
recently passed away. He was the SNL set designer for many years. Like I think that when the show started, he was here. Like
Yeah,
back
yeah, he
in
was up there.
like production designer back in '75. He's done a lot of work on Broadway. I found out he's won 6 Emmys, got 3 Tonys. He worked on
Um,
Sweeney Todd back in '79. Worked on Wicked, Showboat. He's an accomplished man, and
that's incredible. And I love that they showed some of his work. They showed a drawing of his that was an overhead sketch of Studio 8H, just showing the layout of it. And I mean, that was fascinating to see. I love that they made a point of showing his work.
yeah,
So,
absolutely.
you know, that was, and it gave you just a small moment of appreciation.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely. It was
So that was really cool. And hey, as long as we're talking about that, uh, I think as we observed on the podcast last week, Richard Belzer passed away, and he was the warm up comedian for SNL when it started out,
yes.
and he
Yes,
had some appearances on the show as well. So like when they had the Eugene Lee, I was like, hey, are they going to do something for Belzer? And right towards the end of the show, they had a thing for Belzer.
yeah.
So I was very,
I was getting worried. Like, oh, they're gonna not mention the bells.
I would have been a little put out if they didn't acknowledge Richard Belzer's passing, and
Yeah,
I'm very glad that they did.
yes, they pulled it out in the nick of time. Phew.
Yeah, yeah, and I guess you do want to space those things out to give everyone their proper due. So I was very glad
Yes,
that they did that because
absolutely.
he was a part of the show's history, and he was a significant part of the show's history, and a significant figure in comedy besides. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, he definitely needed that appreciation.
Yeah. So R.I.P. Eugene Lee. R.I.P.
Mm-hmm.
Richard Belzer.
Yeah, both extremely talented gentlemen.
Absolutely. So next up, we got The Hippo, written by the PDD Boys, Martin Herlihy, John Higgins, Ben Marshall, and Streeter Seidel.
Oh, look at that! Streeter Seidel teaming up with the PDD
I
boys.
know it's the Avengers mashup we've all been waiting for. It's
Yeah.
Infinity
So
War.
this was just kind of playing with the current Brendan Fraser movie, The Whale, which he's getting a lot of Oscar buzz for, where he's playing a very overweight gentleman, and we find out Mikey's playing the director, and he's breaking it to his cast that their movie has been canceled just before filming,
Yes.
and one cast member dyed her hair brown. Another cast member has researched being a therapist, and another guy has grown a beard that he hates, and Woody Harrelson's character of Keith has gained 450 pounds in 6 months.
Yes. So they've all suffered.
They've all suffered for their art. So right away, I love the premise. It's great. It's a very funny premise. I love that all the other actors are just bitching about their piddling little things, like, oh, but I've got this brown hair. What am I going to do with brown hair now?
Yeah. And
And
and they're all talking about like, oh my god, I had to follow a psychiatrist for like a week to get the character down. And meanwhile,
no, 2 weeks, 2 weeks,
weeks.
Darren,
I apologize. And
because he is committed to her art.
yeah, and meanwhile, Woody Harrelson's character Keith now has triabetes.
Triabetes. I have something called triabetes. I love that they came up with the name triabetes.
Yes.
Very funny stuff. Yeah.
And he also ate gristle loaf.
Yes. Which is a thing that they give to elephants when they're underweight. Which I didn't Google if that's a real thing, but I'm assuming it is because I don't think you could just make that up.
I don't think so. I think that's the real deal.
It's got to be a real deal. It's got to be something that they got by Googling. So nice Googling. Please don't destroy and Streeter.
Yeah, and we should also mention Woody in this huge, very impressive fat suit.
How impressive is this fat suit? Okay, now I was thinking because I've started thinking about this during the sketch. I was like, this had to be the only spot they could put this during the show because that gave Woody like the maximum amount of time to get in and out of the fat suit. I think.
Yeah, because like so he introduced Jack White, which also
Right.
we should also mention when he did that, he's like, ladies and gentlemen, hey, wait a minute, it's also Jack White's fifth time here. Does he get a jacket? And
Yeah,
then like he interrupted it, which that they rarely do that when he introduced the guest musical guest. So,
that was cool. That was cool.
yeah,
That was a fun moment. I don't know if that was a planned or a scripted moment. If Woody was just doing that in the moment, I think that's even better.
it seems Woody's been doing a lot of things in the moment.
It seemed very spontaneous. If it was scripted, it seemed spontaneous.
Okay, so from at that point to the week, till after the weekend update, he had all that
Yeah, so
time.
he's got the 5 minute musical number, and then he's got a weekend update, which is usually like at least 10 minutes, if not like going towards 15. He's got all that time to get into the fat suit, and I'm assuming they needed all that time.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, because I mean, it's got to be a big operation to get in and out of that thing, and then they got to do all the makeup and blend all that makeup to blend like the fake cheeks to his face, the prosthetics and stuff, and
Yeah, it's
really impressive that they did that on a live show.
no, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, let's see what else more about this sketch. So, what are your thoughts on this sketch? I thought it was okay.
I thought it was pretty funny. I enjoyed it. It's one of those sketches I liked the premise. I think a little more than the execution.
Hmm.
And I felt like maybe there was like a little something missing, but I can't quite put my finger on what. It needed a little something else to just kind of put it over the top.
Yeah, I probably needed more escalation if I'm the.
Yeah, maybe a little. I mean, I love the triabetes joke. I like how towards the end, they're all talking about what they're going on to next, and the director says, "Oh, Keith, you had an offer for a Marvel movie, one, right?" And Woody Harrelson's like, "Yeah, I don't think that offer's still on the table. I'm not really in X-Men shape
Yeah.
right now." And me at home, being the geek that I am, I'm like, he could totally play the Blob. Come
That
on,
is.
he can.
That's true. It's very true.
Yeah, I mean, it's even an X-Men character. He could play the Blob. Um, I feel like there should be enough geeks on the SNL writing staff that they would have realized that.
Somebody be like, actually, he could actually play.
Actually, I mean, yeah, like I mean, there's not really a fat guy in the Avengers, but yeah, if you're making an X-Men movie, you need a fat guy. Fred Dukes is right there.
There he
I'm
is.
just saying.
There he is.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then of course it ends with them saying that the reason their film got shut down because it's an exact word for word copy of The Whale with Brendan
Yeah.
Fraser, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, Brendan Fraser's going to win the Oscar for that for sure."
Yeah, that was good. I like that little twist at the end. That was kind of cool. I felt like it ended a little abruptly. I wanted,
Okay.
you want more of a big thing at the end.
Yeah, it just kind of petered out.
Yeah,
So
and and you don't want those comedy sketches to peter out. That's not fun.
no, it definitely needed a little bit more something there.
Yeah,
But overall, not bad. Yeah.
but I feel like it was still one of the stronger sketches of the night. And if it wasn't for the technical issues, I think this totally should have been earlier in the show.
Yeah, I think it's like you said, they probably would have put this earlier in the show, but the fact that they had to get Woody into that that fat suit, that takes time.
Yeah, I feel like that is literally the only slot they could have put it in the show. And I mean, yeah, kind of impressive that they got him out of that so quickly, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
We had the second Jack White number right after this, right?
Yes, we did.
Okay, yeah, so that gave them a little extra time. So
Right.
yeah, I would say it was very deliberately placed in the episode.
Absolutely. And so yeah, 10-1. We're closing out the night with Beautiful Jim.
Ugh.
Okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah,
Written by Alison Gates and Ken Sublette.
they've done better.
This is a weird one.
I'll just say that they've done better.
This is an odd one because it's basically like two men talking in the world's most beautiful gym. We have Bowen come out in a tuxedo with kettlebells exercising next to Woody Harrelson, who's in like a really nice crushed velvet purple suit with like
He did look good. I will give him that. Yeah,
Yeah.
he looked good. I mean, their wigs were both on point.
Yeah.
Bowen looks pretty good with blonde hair.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, but like Woody's suit, I was like, oh, I kind of want that. That looks fire, son. And like they're working out in this quote unquote gym, but it looks more like a really fancy upscale lounge.
I mean, it looks like a place you'd have like a Five Timers Club meet.
Ooh, yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. We've got Michael Longfellow on the piano.
And
Uh,
yeah, and it's basically just like a bunch of kind of one-liners and non sequiturs throughout this
yeah,
whole
it
thing.
was. I don't know. Overall, I thought this was a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, like it's basically like the two of them having this very, just talking to each other, this flirtatious romantic talk in a gym. I think at one point Woody asks Michael Longfellow, who's on the piano, saying, "Hey, what's that you're playing?" And he says, "Oh, it's a big piano, sir." He's like, "I thought so."
Didn't he say it was a fake piano?
I think I said the big piano. Did he say fake?
Did he say a big piano or fake piano?
I don't know. Either way, but yeah, it's just like a bunch
All
of
right.
like that.
Call in, folks. Let us
Yeah,
know which it was.
I do like that one joke where Bowen says, "Oh, this gym is so fancy; it should be called a James." I was like, "All right,
That's all right. I like the joke about like their wives being in a lesbian relationship with each other. Um,
yeah." Like,
but it didn't really send me
yeah,
overall.
it was a lot of. It kind of reminded me. You remember that sketch from the Nick Jonas episode where like Nick was at a bar and he's meeting up with a girl for the first time after COVID, and it's just like a bunch of like kind of random one-liners here and there.
I don't think I do.
Okay, it was in the I forget what the name of the sketch, but it was like in the Nick Jonas episode when he hosted, and
Okay.
it was funny. It was just like again like a lot of just one-liner, 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 and this seems
Yeah.
to be like that, but the one-liners aren't that strong. A lot of them are just like visual gags, like the cobblestone treadmill and stationary Vespa. I think at one point Bowen says, "Hey, what do you have a favorite machine?" He says, "Oh, I like the one that makes toast."
Yeah. I
So
mean, there's some good lines scattered in there here and there, but I don't. Yeah. Overall, it just didn't really work for me.
yeah, it was just I don't know. It kind of
I mean,
almost got there, but
when it's so random, I have trouble getting into it. I don't like random just for the sake of random.
yeah.
So
Like at one point, Bowen says, "Oh, look, there goes the gym rat," and we see an actual rat lifting weights. So it's
yeah.
like, that's kind of all right. Yeah, it wasn't quite there. And I think at one point Bowen says, "Oh, there's my gym crush," and it's Sarah as an old man on a treadmill saying, "Oh, I see you." Only appearance of Sarah for the show throughout the show tonight.
Yeah, I think she was a voice
Oh,
in the
right.
color guard.
Yeah, she was one of
Uh,
the. She
yeah,
yeah,
but I mean, I guess you decide whether that counts or not. But yeah, not didn't pop up on camera much.
not a lot of Sarah, not a lot of no Punky.
I only saw Punky during the good nights.
Yeah, yeah.
Hardly any Dismukes.
Yeah, hardly any. I mean, this Mukes, Marcello, and Devin were all in the submarine sketch, but I don't know if you'd count. I guess you got that.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
they had dialogue.
they did, they
They
did.
appeared on camera. It's
But yeah, a lot of the new people didn't have much to do. They kind of leaned in on the old pros throughout the
yeah,
show, and yeah, so that was that. Yeah, that sketch was didn't quite get there,
yeah,
and so we get to the good nights. Say goodnight, everybody. Then we see Keenan coming out with a Five Timers jacket to
yes,
present to Jack White.
yep.
Uh,
Wah, wah.
but misdirect because then Colin Jost's wife comes out, Scarlett Johansson, gives Woody a Five Timers jacket.
Oh, I was wondering if Scarlett knew somebody at the show.
Yeah, she has an in. Or
Oh,
should I say,
yeah, okay.
well,
She's married to Colin Jost, you say?
yeah, that's the word on the street.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder how that happened.
I don't know.
Huh.
Who knows? Who can tell about with the with how the
Yeah.
heart thing.
She seemed very buddy buddy with Woody. I was seeing that and I was like, have they worked together? I couldn't think of any time they would have worked together, but
Hmm.
not that they can't be friends without working together. um, but it was just like, oh, I didn't know that they were buddies. But
That's a good
I mean,
question.
hell, maybe she just met him this week and she got to know him over the course of the week.
Maybe.
Who knows?
But yeah, maybe she just like swung by. But yeah, yeah. But I
Yeah.
know what you mean. Like usually you get very buddy with somebody once you work on a film with them because
Yeah, I mean, because you're with them for a few months and stuff.
right.
Yeah, but I mean, look, I'm sure there's any number of ways that Scarlett Johansson could have met Woody Harrelson. I nearly said Woody Boyd. That's probably slightly less likely. But
Absolutely.
but I was just like, oh, okay, I didn't know they were friends. I wonder how much Scarlett hangs out at SNL though.
Hmm. I don't
You
know.
know,
I mean, they got a kid, so she can't be there all the time, right?
they got a kid. She's got like a busy career in her own right.
Yeah, she's doing
But
things.
again, it can't be unusual for her to hang out there or at least stop by. I wonder in the typical week how much Scarlett Johansson is there hanging out with her husband.
That's a good point. Like, I'm sure she swings by, like, "Hey guys, it's me. I'm just
Yeah,
want to see Colin."
yeah.
He's like, "Hey, ScarJo."
I mean, at this point, I'm sure there's nothing unusual about her stopping by. I just wonder how much that happens.
That's
It
true.
would, it would just be interesting to spend a week and see how much that happens.
That's true. Oh, so I'm looking it up right now. It looks like they're gonna be in a film together called Project Artemis.
Oh, neat.
So
Okay.
maybe that's
All right.
maybe that's where they bonded.
Okay. Well, hey, now they're gonna work together. That's cool.
Yay!
Yay! We're finally getting that Scarlett Johansson, Woody Harrelson team up that we've dreamed of. I
Finally,
think.
Hollywood has heard our pleas.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. No, I mean, I like both of them, so that's
Yeah.
cool. I feel like the bit would have been funnier if they'd waited a little bit to give Woody a jacket, or even just not given him the jacket at all and just given it to Jack White. I think that would have been hilarious.
Oh, so he just doesn't get a jacket at all?
Yeah, and he was just like, "Hey, what?" But probably too many people would have thought that was a real thing and would have been like, "Hey, he should give it. He should get a jacket."
Yeah, yeah, I see what you're saying. It's like, well, he hosted 5 times too. Why didn't he get a jacket?
Yeah. Or, I mean, even if they just waited a little bit and gave it to him, like, as the credits were rolling or something. But, I just didn't find it. It's funny that they were giving Jack White the jacket, but then, like, immediately after we see Scarlett come out.
Right. Well, I mean,
So,
it's the good night. They have to like wrap it up. So
yeah, I guess they wanted to make sure to do it quickly so it made it on TV. So,
right. Yeah. So, and that's the episode. I mean, this was kind of baffling. This one, I I don't know what to say.
I mean, not a great episode overall by any stretch of the imagination, but still some stuff I liked. I liked the Please Don't Destroy stakeout. I thought Color Guard was pretty good, and I enjoyed the hippo.
Yeah, I'll say that. Yeah, like hippo.
So, I mean, those three, I would say they're all pretty good. Overall, yeah, the show wasn't great.
Yeah, like I mean, I've seen online people talking about this was the worst episode ever. This is the worst, and it's like it wasn't the worst. I mean, it's not Elon Musk levels. I'll say that.
Well, yeah, well, that's not a
Oof,
fair
that
comparison
is.
because, like, I mean, Elon Musk. I think everyone going into that episode knew like this is gonna suck.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, people working on the show knew that.
Oh my god.
And yeah, it was pretty dead on arrival.
Oh god, the Wario sketch. My god, that was.
This
Ugh. Ugh.
still in my nightmares.
Oh god. But yeah.
Still, I hear the voices.
Oh god. But yeah. I mean, yeah. Overall, I mean, this episode, it definitely wasn't as strong as I thought it'd be.
Yeah, the bad stuff definitely brought down the show overall, but I can't totally discount it because it did have some stuff I liked still.
Yeah, there was some good stuff in there.
Yeah,
Not great, but good.
yeah.
But yeah, overall it was.
And I like to concentrate on the stuff I like because, we're about the love
Yeah.
here on the SNL Nerds.
Love, love, love. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know the words.
Or the tune, I don't think.
I was doing All You Need Is Love by the Beatles.
Yeah, no, I know. I sort of recognize that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
That's fine. Keeps us from getting sued.
Yay.
Um,
But yeah, overall, this episode, a bit of a disappointment, but it still had a few things
Yeah.
here and there.
yeah.
And yeah, and also this morning we saw that they put out a Cut for Time sketch.
Oh yes, we need to talk about that. The Cut for Time sketch, which was
Musical promo.
musical promo, which is the premise on this was basically just a musical that consists of the songs you sing to yourself when you're home alone and you're just doing mundane things.
Right. I actually liked this sketch. I kind of wish they kept it in the show.
I liked it. I think it was better than a lot of things they put in the show. I mean, it's certainly better than like Slingshot or Submarine Launch or Beautiful Gem or Jail Scene or
Yeah, like it was kind of fun. We saw Molly have a little screen time, and
yeah, she hardly popped up in the show.
yeah, she was in Slingshot, but only had like a line
Yeah,
or two. But yeah, I really wish they kept this.
I mean, Woody singing Adele as he's like throwing stuff in the trash. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, Bowen singing to his cat.
Yeah,
Molly,
and that is legit a thing that people do.
they really do.
They do. I mean, I've done that like within the last day, I think.
Oh boy, oh boy. And I also like how they point out the fact that like, yeah, this, everybody does this. It's not like, but although it could be seen as maybe a sign that you're going crazy.
Which I have also done in the last day or so.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I liked how they had Molly singing while she was on a Zoom call, like, all these people got nothing to say, and her mic is on.
Right, yeah, she doesn't realize that her mic is on.
Yeah. Like, oh, sorry about that.
Yeah. That was a nice touch.
Yeah. But yeah, this sketch I really wish they kept in. I thought it was pretty.
Yeah, it was
pretty great.
cute. I mean, I'm not saying it's one for the ages, but it is a cute idea.
It definitely would have made the show better. I'll say that.
Yeah. It's been forever since they posted a Cut for Time sketch,
Been a minute. It's been a minute.
Yeah. It's just nice to see the extra sketches.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the online, on the internet,
on the interwebs, on the world wide webs, through the tubes.
Yes, on the information superhighway. Nobody calls it the information superhighway anymore. Why is that?
I'm bringing it back, man.
We need to bring that back. Yeah,
bring it back, baby. And so speaking, and that's the episode, guys. And let's go to the Twitter. We tweeted out.
Speaking of the information superhighway, they've got a site on there called Twitter where people tell us what they think.
What
of the show at the SNL Nerd Show Twitter account.
Yeah.
So let's see what the people have to say. I got one up here. You want me to start?
Kick it.
Okay, I will, Mike D. First from our friend Thomasina says, I need a rewatch, as always. Do you? But I would say this is probably my least favorite episode of the season. Had no idea what the hell was going on. Yeah, a lot of randomness. The monologue was disappointing. Nice way to put it. Everything just felt real lazy. And this is after a run of strong episodes.
Yeah,
so,
I would agree. Like, we're coming off the Aubrey Plaza, Michael B. Jordan, and the Pedro Pascal, which were all, I would say either strong or good. So we were going on a good run, and this just kind of put the stop to all that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I was more mixed on those episodes. I remember, some fun stuff in the Aubrey Plaza episode. The Pedro Pascal, I didn't think was the strongest, but
okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of the sketches. I definitely like the Aubrey Plaza one more.
Yeah, I think everybody. Oh, I'll say that. It seems like everybody agrees the Aubrey Plaza one was one of the stronger ones of the season. Like, I've seen people say that, and people really like the Keke Palmer one. I think those are
right.
That's up there. But I thought the other two were good too. But yeah, this one was just oof.
Yeah.
So we also got a one from Mikey with 2 E's.
Mikey with 2 E's.
Hey guys. Hey guys. Thought this one started slowly and got better as it went on. Monologue meandered and then got, well, Didn't love the first couple of sketches. Enjoyed PDD and the shitting in the box pre-tape. Loved.
When I shit in the box. Shit in the box, baby.
Hanukkah. Shit in the box. Kwanzaa.
Shit in the box.
Oh, good God.
That's the way you do it. Sorry, back to the tweet.
I'm sorry. Wait, yes, okay. Love the jokes of Weekend Update, not the death pics.
Ooh.
And the gym bit was great.
Disagree. Did not like the gym bit. I didn't really feel like the show got stronger as it went on. Well,
Woody Allen.
I guess the good stuff was mostly in the middle for me.
Yeah, it seemed like Woody kind of sobered up towards the end. So in that way, he was off to the races on that monologue. He was. I
Yeah,
was
I don't
like,
know what was happening there. Yeah,
my man,
I mean, I feel like it was written very erratically, and I feel,
my
yeah,
man was flying through space on that one.
yeah,
He was,
yeah,
he was Spaceman Jones.
yeah. All right. Well, let's see. Our friend Manette Marati chimed in. She says, a train wreck episode where the toxic fumes of the cold open and the host leaked into the rest of the show and caused significant health issues to the overall streak that they were on since December. Let's hope there's a thorough cleanup considering the next host is an athlete.
I see what you did there.
Wow.
Very,
I really, yeah, Manette really committed to the bit, and
I appreciate it.
she extended that metaphor throughout the entire tweet, which impressive work.
Well done, Manette. Well done.
Well done, Manette.
Boardman gets
Tip of the hat
Yeah,
there.
Boardman gets paid. Lee Hot the Lion says, "Hi
Hmm.
guys from the real Five Timers Club in the Quantum Realm. I didn't want to be this mean, but I'm glad no one gave him timer jacket. I
Ooh,
usually love
guess they don't get the good nights over in England.
Mhm.
Ha ha ha.
I usually love every episode, but as the kids say, this ain't it. Except for update, bring on my man Travis Kelsey.
Yes. Who is the person who is hosting next week that we definitely know?
Yes, he's the footballer.
Yes.
He plays the foosball.
Right.
And then we also got one from Jacob. Uh,
Jacob.
Jake362 says, pretty weak episode. The color guard sketch was funny, but overall the rest were subpar and offered only a few minor chuckles here and there. More
Hmm.
disappointing was the extreme lack of Sarah Sherman, who could have easily elevated the episode knowing Woody likes to get weird. And then he goes on to say, also, the submarine sketch was by far one of the weakest sketches I've seen in a long while.
Yeah, yeah, I'd agree. That was not a great, and just kind of head scratching because again, Bodie McBoatface 7 years ago. I can't get over that.
Yeah, like it. I mean, yeah, like usually they like to pride themselves on being current and being hip with the kids. So,
I mean, yeah, that's half the point of doing the show live is so you can be topical, and I don't know. It's just very strange choice.
yes, very strange choice and a very, very strange episode. Uh,
Very strange episode. Somewhat disappointing.
yeah, but I mean, here's hoping that next week will be a better one.
Hope springs eternal, people.
Yes, it does, John. And
Yeah.
yeah, and next week, March 4th, we got Travis Kelsey and Kelsey Ballerini.
Well, that's going to screw us up. That's very confusing.
Yes, I think we've said before, somebody's got to either Travis change the last name or Kelsey change the first name. This can't.
Yeah, we got to get on that. We got to work that out sometime
Yeah.
over the next week.
Yes. Yeah. For those that don't know,
One of you is just going to have to take the hit.
yes, that's how it's going to be. I'm sorry.
Because I mean, it's just too confusing for the people who do podcasts about SNL. I'm just saying.
Think of the podcasters, people.
For God's sakes, think of the podcasters.
Yeah. For those that don't know, of course, Travis Kelsey, football player, tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs, who just won the Super Bowl or Superb Owl. I don't know. I know he also had the podcast with his brother. From what I've heard, people say he's like he has a big personality. I'm
Okay,
in wait and
all
see
right.
mode with this because I'm always whenever it's a athlete, I'm always very cautious. So we'll
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a crapshoot.
yeah. So I don't know. But I'm optimistic. I'm hopeful this will work out. So we'll just we'll see what we get with Mr. Travis Kelsey and Kelsey
Yeah,
Ballerini.
I mean, hey, fingers crossed. You know, hope it's good. Looking forward to seeing it. I guess.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the ticket.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just gonna say yes. Yes, I am. Yes, I
Yeah,
am.
say yes.
Yes, I'm saying yes to the dress.
Yes.
So if you want to follow us, you can go find us on the Twitter sphere at SNL Nerds Show. You can also follow our individual Twitter and Instagram pages. I, for instance, am at Trumbull Comic. That's TRUMBULL, and then the word comic.
And I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Darren Credible. That's DARIN Credible.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it, I guess.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. As always, we donate to our Patreon, rate, review,
Oh yes,
subscribe, all that jazz.
yeah. We'd like a nice review. We haven't had a nice review in a while, so if you you listen to this show a lot and you enjoy what it is, we'd like hearing about that. We will read that on the podcast.
Absolutely. So just give us your love. Shower us in the love and affection that we so desperately, desperately need.
Yeah, because we're fragile.
Yes, we're like cheap china plates.
Yes, yes. So next week we'll have a couple people named Kelsey there.
Yes, we'll have the Kelseys.
Maybe Kelsey Grammer will stop by.
Ooh,
we need more Kelseys. Let's just have all the Kelseys on the show. Let's go all the way with this thing.
Let's do it. All Kelsey, all the time.
Are there some other Kelseys that they should have on?
Oh, now I got to look it up.
I mean, I can't think of another Kelsey off the top of my head. I'm just asking you. I'm putting you on the spot.
We're wrapping it up here. Kelsey Ballerini and Kelsey Grammer.
Okay, yeah.
Travis Kelce. And
Kelsey.
That's it. Those are all the Kelseys in the world.
They're all the Kelseys. You don't meet a lot of Kelseys, so it's unusual that we have 2 Kelseys in 1 week.
Yeah. Maybe we can get somebody who's Celtic. That's kind of close.
Sure, let's have Celtic Woman on there. Are they still a thing?
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Celtic Woman!
I think they did a parody of Celtic Woman once when
oh yes, they did.
Kate was still on the show.
Yeah, Anya Taylor-Joy episode.
Yeah, that's it. I knew that was a thing.
Look at you know.
Anyway, Kelseys are on next week.
There you go. Look at you knowing your things.
Yeah, and then we'll be back and we'll talk about that and we'll see what we thought of that. Will we like it better than this episode? Will we like it worse than this episode? Who knows? You're just gonna have to listen and find out. But until then, nerds out.
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.